Welcome to a special edition of Shane Talks. It is the Shane Talks Selection Sunday episode. We are still a couple of days away from releasing the February 2023 episode, the first episode in our Shane Talks reboot program. In that episode, Jason and I are joined by Troy and Melissa to talk about stuff like Adam Sandler movies and what age they are going to start sharing some of their favorite films with their kids. So super excited to bring that to you in a couple of days. But before that, we got to get prepared for our March episode because we got a couple of weeks of voting that we've got to do as we take the field of 64 action movies and narrow them down to where our panel on that episode will do the final couple of rounds of voting. So we got to get started on that, which means we need to have a selection show. And just so that everyone's aware, here's how the rankings happened. It is all 100% up to me. I went to all the various regions that we've got. I wrote down all of the movies that were considered action movies for that person, went through them. I used kind of the IMDb ranking. I used Rotten Tomatoes scores, and then I used my own personal opinion to put them in an order from 1 to 16 for each of these regions. We have the Bruce Willis region. We have the Sylvester Stallone region. We have the Arnold Schwarzenegger region. And then we have the at-large region for all the other action movies that fall into, the action category. So let's go ahead and jump right up into the Bruce Willis region, and let's look at that 1 to 16 matchup. No surprise here, Die Hard #1, and it's going up against the comedic favorite, Hudson Hawk. The 8-9 matchup, we'll see number 8, The Last Boy Scout, go up against number 9, Red. Next up, we've got the 5-13 matchup for Bruce Willis, and that is Die Hard with a Vengeance up against Last Man Standing. Up next is the 4-13 matchup, with number 4 being The Fifth Element, and number 13 being Looper. In the 6-11 matchup, we've got Sin City versus number 11, Armageddon. The 3-14 matchup is going to see the number 3 spot being taken by 12 Monkeys, going up against number 14, Live Free or Die Hard. We've got a 7-10 matchup that sees Die Hard 2 in the 7 spot, going up against The Jackal in the number 10 spot. And finally, rounding out the Bruce Willis region, we have the number 2 Bruce Willis film, which was Pulp Fiction, going up against the number 16 film, 16 Blocks. So there you go. That's kind of how it's going to roll for all the other categories. We've got that region done there. So up after the Bruce Willis region, we have the Sylvester Stallone region. So for his action films, the number 1 spot goes to Rocky, 1976 version of Rocky, which goes up against the number 16 Cliffhanger. In the 8-9 spot for Stallone, we've got Rocky 4 in the 8 spot, going up against the Expendables in the 9 spot. Next up, the 5-12 matchup sees number 5 Rocky 3 going up against the number 12 spot Cobra. The next matchup we got is 4-13. For number 4 in the Sylvester Stallone region, we have Rocky 2, and it's going up against number 13 Tango and Cash. Up next, we've got the 6 and 11 matchup, number 6 being the film Nighthawks, going up against number 11, The Specialist. In our 3-14 matchup for Stallone, it's looking to be Demolition Man in the number 3 spot, going up against number 14, Daylight. In the 7-10 matchup, we've got number 7, Rambo First Blood Part 2, going up against the number 10 spot, Lockup. And finally, rounding out the Sylvester Stallone region, in the number 2 spot, we have First Blood, which is then followed by, it's being matched up against the number 15 spot, Assassins. All right, lots of good matchups over there on that side of the field. Moving over to the other side of the field, we're going to start with the Arnold Schwarzenegger region. And in the number 1 overall spot there, we have the film The Terminator, which is going up against his number 16 action film, The Sixth Day. Following matchup is the 8-9, and it's going to be Conan the Barbarian in the number 8 spot, which is going up against the number 9, The Running Man. In our 5-12 matchup for Schwarzenegger, we are going to see number 5, True Lies, go up against number 12, Raw Deal. The 4-13 matchup on the Schwarzenegger side sees Terminator 2 Judgment Day in the number 4 spot, going up against Escape Plan, which is number 13 for Schwarzenegger. Our next matchup is the 6-11, which we've got number 6 Commando, going up against number 11 Red Heat. The next matchup is the number 3 and 14. We've got number 3 Total Recall, going up against number 14 Sabotage. Schwarzenegger's 7-10 matchup is a head-to-head collision of his two action comedies. We've got Last Action Hero in the number 7 spot going up against number 10 Kindergarten Cop. And to round out the Arnold Schwarzenegger region of this poll, the number 2 film is Predator, and it's going up against his number 15 film, End of Days. That's 3 solid categories or regions we've got going on so far right there. And the last one to round it all out, we have the at-large region, which is everything else in the action category. Number 1 in the at-large region goes to the film Aliens. That is the second one, Aliens with an S at the end, and it is going up against the John Woo classic in the 16th spot, Hard Boiled. In the at-large region, the 8-9 matchup is going to be number 8 Heat versus number 9 Lethal Weapon. In the 5-12 matchup, we've got the Battle of the Colons. It is number 5, The Raid Redemption, The Raid: Redemption, going up against number 12, Leon: The Professional. Next up, we've got the Battle of the Shoot-'em-Ups. Number 4 is John Wick, going up against number 13's The Bourne Identity. Our 6-11 matchup features mashed together words. We've got the number 6 RoboCop is facing off against number 11 Face/Off. In the 3-14 matchup, we have number 3 going as Raiders of the Lost Ark for the at-large region. And it's going up against number 14, which is Kill Bill, and we're putting volume 1 and 2 together to be considered one whole big long film for that. So that comes in at the 14. The 7-10 matchup is a battle of Keanu Reeves, where we've got number 7 being The Matrix, and he's going up against number 10, Point Break. And the final matchup that we have, number 2, it's the Battle of the Dragons, is what I'm going to say. We have number 2, Enter the Dragon, going up against number 15, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So there we go. There are all 64 movies that we are going to try to whittle down and narrow down via voting. If you look right below my name, or the box that I'm in right now, there will be a QR code. You can scan that, go right to the voting section. If you're listening audio-wise, there will be a description or a link in the description to get to the voting page. Or if you go to shane-talks.com, our website that we don't really promote because it doesn't have a whole lot of content on it, but now it does, because if you go to shane-talks.com, there will be a posting that will have access to the voting link on there also. Or I mean, not even the voting link, like you can literally just vote on our website. It's embedded into it. So there we go. That is step 1, phase 1 for our March episode. Like I said, every Sunday we'll be posting the new results, the new matchups, the new head-to-heads. And yeah, we will be voting on this for a couple of weeks. And then once we get to recording the March episode, I think Jason and I know who's going to be on the panel. I don't want to announce it yet, just in case it falls through. I don't have 100% confirmation, but our 2 guests are going to be really awesome. And we're going to have a good time talking about action movies with them. Looking forward to seeing if they're surprised by any of the results on here. That'll be kind of part of the show, is discussing any underdogs that have made it through, or anything that they thought shouldn't have been eliminated. Kind of having a look at the whole broad field, and then getting it down to wherever we're at to come up with the winner on that night's episode. So yeah, anybody that goes out and votes, I appreciate it, and thank you ahead of time. And thank you for listening to me babble about the 64 films that we're going to try to narrow down to the best action film voted on by the community. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time.